All right. What's up, you guys? We're back and we're live. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As you are logging on, if you'd like to work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. If you are logging on Instagram, we are also live on YouTube and Facebook. And typically it is a better experience if you go over to one of those platforms because you will be able to see us screen share videos and pictures and all that stuff too. So you can stay on Instagram if you like, but it's just audio. When you're over on YouTube, you see the pictures. When you're over on Facebook, you see the pictures. You also see all the comments that come up, all of that. So as you're getting in here and getting logged on, say hello. Tell me you're here. Say hi. I just got home and I stuffed some food in my face and I'm here with you guys. My makeup and hair survived the day, so we're here. Yes, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. What's up? So like I said, if you guys are on Instagram, you won't be able to see the pictures and the videos when they go up. But if you go onto YouTube or Facebook, you can. So yes, you caught a live. Yay. So tonight we're going to wrap up Wasatch. Wasatch Warrior from this weekend. I do have some video from the live stream. Thank you, Jennifer, for sending that to me. So I have it. We're going to go through the photos. I'm going to touch on a few points, a few things that I've seen and people talking and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to cover a few of these things. And then we're going to talk about going forward. So, okay, let's cover a few changes, guys. So thank you. I had photo shoot today, so my hair and makeup is done. It's a little frizzy because I was at the beach, but that's okay. It survived. It still survived even after the beach. So even with a little frizz going on, a little bit. So this weekend is Virginia NPC Classic. So if you are on my roster for that show, you have your schedule for hair and makeup. It went out on Monday, so that's done, good to go. You're all set. If you have not responded to that, make sure that you reply to the email, okay? Just so I know that you're all set. The next show that we will be at is Pittsburgh Pro. So if you need to book hair and makeup for Pittsburgh Pro, please do so. And we are adding on the New York Pro. Typically, there is a week in between Pittsburgh and New York. This year, there is not. So I'm going to go straight from Pittsburgh into New York Pro the following week. So if you need hair and makeup for either of those shows, please book, please book, please book. The link is in my bio on Instagram. You can get to it from my website as well, which, as you can see right here, we have our handy dandy little QR code right up here in the corner. So you can scan that. That'll take you there. You can book. You can also book posing here. You can also get on our live webinar for your suit. You can do everything that you need to do right here from this QR code right there, okay? You can go to SeansCoutureCuties.com or you can go to suitsandposing.com. They are both the exact same thing, and they will get you everything that you need. We revamped our entire website and relaunched it last week, so it is brand new, and it is much easier to navigate. Yes, Pittsburgh and New York. We are trying to go to all the major shows, if you haven't noticed. So we were at the Arnold. That's a major show. We are going to Pittsburgh and New York, which are both major shows. We plan on also being at Tampa. I think the only show, like major show, we're not planning on is Chicago at this point. I think that's the only one. Because I've started doing all this live stream commentary and Spotify commentary and things like that, I'm trying to get to these in person to cover them in person. So that is going to also be my focus at both Pittsburgh and New York and Tampa eventually. So then that way you guys can log on to my Spotify. So for those of you that didn't do that for the Arnold, basically what I did was I recorded commentary live. I recorded commentary live at the show and then uploaded it immediately into my Spotify. So that's on there right now from the Arnold. We're going to be doing that again at all these major pro shows. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't even know when Chicago is, but isn't it the same weekend as Universe or something like that? I believe it's the same weekend. Chicago is always on the same weekend as Universe typically. And I already have a bunch of girls signed up for Universe, so we will be at Universe this year as well. So that is on the hair and makeup schedule too. So if you need to book Universe, please do so. I know several of you ladies have already booked that show, so just be on top of those things. Okay, so with that, we are going to go into tonight's wrap up. Yeah, so the cool thing about the live Spotify's is, like, if you get the live stream at the show, right? Buy the live stream from the show, then watch it with my commentary. Like, skip back and get my commentary and watch along with it. It's like having a pocket Sean commentator. I love that. And that's exactly what it is, because, you know, obviously I can't be on commentary at every show, nor do I want to be. And I have clients in every show and things like that too. So I need to you know, have my focus on those places as well. But, you know, when I get to cover it for my own channels, it's fantastic. So that's the goal. So when you guys, you know, go ahead and, Chicago Pro's different this year. July 22nd. Oh, it's the same week as Masters Nationals. That's why. Okay. I knew there was another show that I definitely have to go to that I couldn't go to Chicago. So I knew that was the case. That's Masters Nationals week. And that's the other thing too, guys. I try to keep my schedule to 2 shows a month, because I still got to work with y'all here too. So I can't be at a show every single weekend. I got stuff to do here at home too. So like I said, I do try to keep it to 2 shows a month. So next month will be Pittsburgh and New York. And then the following month will be, DC Pro-Am and Universe. And then when we go to July is Masters Nationals, and we have a local show with the Virginia Clash of the Titans show. So on and so forth. And then we got Tampa, and we've got Nashville Fit Show in August, and so on and so forth. So anyway, those are all on my schedule. So again, if you need to book hair and makeup, you know who to hit up for that, for the looks. This is my look today. It survived through 6 hours of photo shoots, including being on the beach. So just saying. Anyway, with that, let's start talking about Wasatch. Okay, so first question is, was anybody surprised about these results? I was not. There's a couple people that were kind of moved around, but we pretty much knew who we thought was going to be in that first call out, and that happened, right? Then it was just a matter of how they looked that day, as far as how the placings all right? How the placings all kind of played out, right? So let's see. I have video of this first call out here, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. So let's see. Oh, they changed my thing around. There it is. Okay. Okay, so here is our first call out. Now I can hear this. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the live stream. It's not a big deal. I'm going to get rid of the chat overlay so we have a little bit more space for the video. So you can see it. There we go. So they just brought out the first call out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in first call out. Now, as they're going through this, I want to comment on a few things that I heard, right? I heard a lot of people saying, oh man, there's a ton of muscle on these girls and things like that. This is a normal bikini muscle show. Like, it's not over the top at all. What you're seeing here is that the stage lighting was just so shadowed that it makes them look like they have a lot more muscle than they actually do, right? Makes them look like they're huge. What did I just do? Oh, that was a screenshot. I was like, Jennifer gave me this live stream, so you must have just screenshot right there. I was like, what just happened? But anyway, so they're moving the girls around and things like that. And I'll get into a little bit about why I think they moved people. And we'll talk about Brittany, because we did talk about having her up in that top, and she ended up in the second call out. So we will talk about that in a second, but I just want you to be able to see this as they're moving people around. Amy did end up winning this in the red. And I'll be honest with you, it's very hard to actually judge this show from the videos. Screenshot, I know, I got you, Jennifer. It's hard to judge this from the videos because the lighting is so shadowed, right? This was the scenario at Pittsburgh Pro last year too. It was very shadowed. One of the lights, one of the sides of the stage, the lights went out. It was really, really hard if you weren't there in person to see what was going on. So I always preface anything that I do as far as reviews, things like that are concerned with, if you weren't there in person, this is a great scenario where I am positive this looks completely different in person than it does right here on the screen, right? So let's go to the next part of that. And they're going to move everybody into their placings basically for this first call out. And you're going to see who ends up in that top 5. Now, as you're watching this is a significantly different looking lineup than what we saw for like the European show that we just talked about, the One Bro Pro show. You can see here that nobody in this first call out is overly conditioned. Nobody in this first call out is too muscular. We don't have any striations going on. We don't have any like capped shoulders and things like that, striated shoulders. We don't have any of those things, right? This is more in line with what the bikini criteria should be versus what we saw from that European show. Okay. So I really want to stress that. I know I talked about that a lot last week when we were going over this with the One Bro Pro show. This lineup that we saw here at Wasatch was very competitive. Okay. It was very competitive. That this top call out, they're all very, very good in the top call out. Okay. Okay, so they're moving Savannah and Jessica, which I do agree with. The thing that Savannah's got going for her is that she has this tiny little waistline, teeny tiny. So it makes her her proportions look crazy. But in my opinion, she is a little bit too muscular still. Yes, they did work them for sure. Like you can see this portion of this call out is 3 minutes by itself. And we had another video before this. So, I tell you guys, each of these call outs tends to be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes longer. This was a longer one, right? And they're definitely judging hard. Now, some of the things that we talked about as far as the preview was concerned was, if girls came in with more size, they may give Amy a run for her money, that kind of thing. And I think that's what happened here. I mean, Jessica came in with more size. Malou came in with more size. And that played really well in their favor. I thought Malou looked very, very good. This was the fullest I've seen Jessica look in a long time. And I think it looked really, really good for her too. And I think for me personally, what kept Brittany out of those top spots here is we're just seeing a little bit of an imbalance from the front with her glutes being a little overpowering. Oh, there's another screenshot. There's another screenshot. And from the back, I think she's a little bit, her legs are a little overpowering from the back. So she's got to get some balance in there. That's all. All right, so there's your first call out. And they're going to bring those girls in to keep going for second. So let's talk about each girl. Now, I'll be honest with you. I barely glanced at these photos. Okay. I watched the video, but I barely glanced at the photos. So we're going to kind of go through them a little bit. This right here is Jackie. So she took 5th. I've got the top 5 up here. So let's find a good front shot of Jackie. I think, is she in the box here? Yes, she is. Okay, I got one with her in the box. Okay, so I think Jackie looks great. I think she needs a few tweaks with her front pose. She's bending over a little bit too much here. She's got to just stand up a little taller. It's really, this stage, if you notice down here on the stage, you see these seams. It's really hard to walk on those expo stage seams, right? So if you're going to a show, I tell every one of my clients, when you go to a show, go and walk the stage. because if you are not ready for this seam down the center, that will trip you up big time. And you can also see that the box is over all 4 of those edges right there. So, you have to be really aware of where your footing is when you're on these stages. It was a small stage. The lighting was only good in certain places, that kind of thing. So, you just have to be aware of those kinds of things. I saw a lot of girls trip and stumble, that kind of deal. So again, I'd like to see this front pose tweaked a little bit. I'd like to see her stand up a little taller here. I think that would help. I think the reason she's doing this is she's trying to give herself more curve here. Again, we've got a lot of shadows. We got a bright light in the back here, so you can't see very well on her physique. But she does have a little bit thicker through that oblique line. So I think the reason why she's posing like this is she's trying to actually make herself look a little curvier. So this may actually be a good pose for her, but I'd like to see a few other positions, because one thing I'm noticing is as she's in this position, her hand right here is kind of blocking her glutes a bit, which tells me again that she's pushing too hard in her glutes and not standing up tall enough, right? Overall, though, this conditioning is very good. She's very full. She's very round. I do think she needs more shoulder up top here. Again, she needs to build this frame out just a little bit so that she doesn't have to push quite so much through this waistline. I think it would help her here. Let's take a look at a back shot for her. Okay, for the back shot, so, here you can really tell that she has more mass on her lower half than she does on her upper. So like I was saying from the front, I'd like to see more delts. You could definitely use some more delts here. And you can see really clearly she's got a thicker waistline from the back. She's trying to manipulate that a little bit to make this pull out a little bit more. But really what she could stand to do is grow some more upper back and shoulders and get this V to be a little bit more prominent. That would help her. I don't think I would grow much more down on the lower half. I think she's good right there, but I think for her balance and be able to hit those poses a little bit better, getting a little bit wider across this top would be a good thing for her, right? I think that would be a good thing for her. Again, it's hard to tell with these photos because of the lighting being so shadowed, but it looks like she could stand to fill out just a touch. We do have these diamond dropped into her hamstrings here a little bit. They're not super tight, but they're pretty tight. And I think if she went in and filled out just a touch more, we might soften this up a little bit, maybe 3D pop it a little bit more. But again, that could be the lighting too. That could be a product of the lighting as well. So, I think overall this is very, very good package. Again, I think this entire lineup, specifically the first call out, was very, very competitive across the board. So, she could definitely stand to continue to compete this year and try to do a little bit better. But where I could see she could improve here, like I said, is that upper body, growing that upper body out a little bit, so that will help her to shrink that waistline a little bit down. I had somebody comment on one of my photos yesterday about, where's my waist? My waist is the same size. It's just I grew everything around it. My waistline didn't get smaller. Everything else on me got bigger. The easiest way to make a thick waistline look small is grow everything around it, right? Grow everything else around it. That's the way you do it. So that's what I would suggest on her. I would just get some more upper body there. Let's see. Okay, so in fourth, we have Savannah. So Savannah, we knew going into this was going to be one of the more muscular girls, but that actually played pretty well for her here. I do think she's still a little bit muscular. I'm trying to find she's got some back poses there. Let's see if I can find a good front pose. Kind of. Let's see. I think this one works. So she's still pretty muscular, but like I said, one of the things that plays really well in her favor is how tiny her waistline is, right? She's one that I just mentioned, like she's grown her body outwards to make her waistline even smaller. So I think she's doing a good job of shaping here, but I just see a little bit too much thickness in that density, the muscle, but she's a taller girl too. So she kind of needs it at the same time. So, what do you do at this point? She's got to get a little bit fuller, a little bit rounder through that upper body in order to match her lower body. Again, same issue we were just talking about. She's got more muscle on her lower half than she does in her upper. But I don't necessarily think adding more muscle is a good idea. Like I think that if she adds more muscle, that might become overpowering, right? So, do you downsize the lower half a little bit, or do you bring the shoulders up a little bit more, right? I don't know. My tendency is to say maybe get a little bit more shoulder cap in there because she's got fullness here to the lower half. But that may end up making her be a little bit too big. So she's got to kind of decide which direction she wants to go. Maybe try just trimming down the lower half a little bit more, shape it just a little bit more, that kind of thing. But overall, I think this is a better package than what she had last year. So I think she's doing a good job. Let's get a back pose here. So, from the back, she's got some good glutes. She's wide across the top. She's got a small waistline, like I said. But it's like she's just got a lot of mass on her legs, her quads, her calves, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see maybe it's just a matter of bringing the legs down a little bit so that we get a little bit more of that differentiation between her legs and her quad, or her legs and her glutes. Maybe that's what it is. She just needs to shape it a little bit. Because I think, again, it's just kind of like, it's like a big block of mass back here. And I don't mean that in sound negative. I mean, it's a little bit negative, but it's not. I just want to see some more difference between her glutes and her legs, if that makes sense. If her glutes could stay the same size and her legs could come down a little, I think that would be good. I think that would work for her. Again, going back to, what do you do? Do you grow a little bit more shoulder on top, or do you bring the legs down a little bit? So I think for her, I would probably say bring the legs down a little bit, keep everything else the same. That's, I think, the direction I would go. I think that's the direction I would go here. Okay, so we have Malou. Now, Malou's beautiful girl. We talked about her coming into this being a potential threat. She definitely did put some size on, so that's good. She's got a very different kind of physique. And I mean, like, she just doesn't match really well with other people. She's got the round fullness, bubbliness, and all that, like nice round, high sitting glutes here. This is a really, really good shape. And I think that her fullness and her roundness helped her quite a bit in this particular show. She's got that fullness in the shoulders, all of that kind of stuff. Now, this is a really good front pose, especially for her frame. This is a really good front pose. And overall, it's a really pretty look too. So I do like this look. I don't know if there's a whole lot I would change here when it comes to her front pose. Yeah, it's just, she's hitting it really well. She's got a nice tight waistline, all of that. So again, I don't know if there's anything here that I would particularly change, right? I think she looks pretty good. It's just, she has a little bit of a different look to her, a little bit of a different kind of frame to her than most girls. She's got that, again, that pop in that glute and the pop in the shoulders and all that, which is beautiful. It's just different. It's just different from other structures. Let's see. Okay, from the back, she definitely put size on in the back, which looks great. She needed to put size on. She needed that fullness. She needed that roundness. These photos, again, are not the best in the world. When you see her on the live stream, she definitely has more pop to her glutes than what you're seeing here. She has some nice fullness to her glutes, and you don't really see that here. I don't think I would come in much tighter here, but she does need, again, same thing I was just talking about with Savannah. We need something that differentiates her glutes from her legs. It does look better in the live stream than what we're seeing here in the photos. But I think it's just a matter of, she's got these really high glute insertions, so her glutes don't drop down really low. We see that round bubbliness of the glutes, which is a very attractive look. But when you're looking at girls that have low dropping hamstrings, you're not going to compare well to them because you have high insertions, and she just has high insertions here. So for her, I think she's going to have to keep on working on bubbling out those glutes even more. That is a strong point for her, but because it looks different than the other girls, she's just going to have to keep going with it and keep embracing it and keep growing those glutes. That's what's going to help her. But this is much, much better than what she put on stage over the summer. So she's going in the right direction. She's doing the right things. And I do think that this could be a potential winner of a show this year. It's just a matter of making sure that she keeps those glutes nice and full and round so that they pop. And that's what you see versus, them getting smaller, right? Because we don't want them to get smaller because of the high glute insertions, because of her hamstrings being up here, right? Upper body looks great. She might want to open her back up a little bit. Here it looks like she's got this wide back and small waist, but it's not that. That's the lighting. Like you can see the lighting hitting here. So this is actually her back over here. This is her back over here. But if you're not paying attention, it looks like her back V's way, way in. It's just the lighting and with the lights hitting her. So again, the shadows on the stage, the way that the stage was set up with the lighting made these girls look a whole hell of a lot more freaky and cartoonish than they actually were, right? Which is them not being cartoonish is a good thing, right? If they were that cartoonish, they would look like they're not bikini anymore. It's just the lighting. It's just the lighting that we're seeing here, right? Okay, Jessica Wilson. Jessica came in second. Now I know from talking to Jessica, she came into this show, I believe, 7 pounds heavier than she was at the Olympia. So a lot fuller, a lot rounder, and you can see it. It definitely did her well. Loved the pink suit on her. She tends to wear lighter colored suits anyway. She wears pink, she wears mint, all of that. So I thought that this pink was a really good switch up for her. I liked it a lot. I thought it fit her very, very well. And her personality, everything, it just works. She's got some nice full roundness in her shoulders. She's full and round everywhere. Plus she's tight. I think she was a little bit faded when we saw her at the Olympia, but here is a much more refreshed physique. She looks a lot fresher, a lot brighter, a lot healthier, all of that kind of stuff. And that's what we want to see. So I do think that Jessica will win another show this year. It's just a matter of when, right? She's gonna hit one. She's gonna win one. And I loved this whole look on her. I loved her presentation too. She did a great job with her presentation as well. Let's take a look at her back shot. Is she fully posed? I think she's fully posed. Yes. All right, here we go from the back. So one of Jessica's issues always has been her upper and outer glutes, right? She is filled out everywhere in here. Now you can see she's got some drops in her hamstrings, but they're not those tight diamond drops. You see what I'm talking about? Like she's got that fullness there that we talked about with Jackie, that Jackie needs to get, that took 5th. Right? Jessica has the fullness here. She has those long drops into her hamstrings. That's what we're talking about with Malou. Malou doesn't have that, right? Jessica has that. Now, where Jessica lacks is this upper outer glute up here, right? So it's a hard thing for her. It's just a genetic thing as far as getting that pop on the top, right? So this look right here for Jessica is much, much better. It's much, much improved. Yes, her conditioning is perfect. She's not over the top. She's right where she needs to be. She's got that fullness, that roundness. Again, that fullness and roundness is very, very important. Okay. It's very, very important. Now, where she's always going to have an issue when she gets up against really tough competition is that pop in that upper outer glute. She's gotten better. This is a much improved look. Again, it's better than what she was doing before, but that's still going to be a little bit of a weakness there. Okay. It's a genetic thing. It's a genetic weakness. It's always going to be a weakness, right? So the more that she can work on that, the better she's going to be, but this is pretty damn near close to probably the best Jessica I've seen. Again, she's just looking nice and full and round. So just got to keep working on that upper outer glute. Got to keep working on the upper outer glute. As long as she does that, she's going to keep getting better. And again, she's got that tiny waistline from the back and she's got the wide spread across the top. This is a really good pose for her. And I would like to see that improved. I don't think bringing the suit bottoms helps with her. She's done that before. It just cuts her off, makes her look like she has no glutes from the back. So she's done some different things with her suit bottoms. And I understand what you're saying about the suit bottoms. But I think where she has them for her is the correct placement. Based on what I've seen in the past. I know she's played with that a lot. To try to get it to the right spot. So, knowing that, I think that this is probably the best place that she has put the bikini bottoms for herself. So, just gotta keep working on the glutes. Just gotta keep working on the glutes, right? But overall, really, really good package for her. Probably one of her best. And lastly, let's go to Amy. So Amy did win this again. We assumed, she was going to be the front runner coming in, all of that. What I wanted to see from Amy here, that she didn't have at the Border Clash was I wanted to see some more roundness, more fullness. She definitely has that here. You can see that the pop is much, much better in her glutes, the pop in her shoulders. She's got the 3D look that she did not have at the Clash. So, when you got a structure like this that's so well balanced, and you come in on point with your conditioning and your fullness and everything as well, it's going to be very, very hard to beat that. It's going to be very, very difficult to beat that. So this is a great look for her. I still stand by. I like the red on her. I just like to see it not be the matte red. I'd like to see a shiny red. I think a shiny red would pop off even better on her. But I do like the red, and I do like the red better than the dark blue she used to wear. So more power to her. I just want to see a shiny red. I just want to see a shiny red. But overall, I think this is a really good package for her. Again, she got the fullness in there that she didn't have at Clash. Let's take a look at a back shot. Where's she at? She's moving through all these. She's moving in every one of these back shots. So let's see. Where's the closest one? I think this might be the closest one. Oh no, oh no, that was just the lighting. I was looking at the lighting. The lighting again. Lighting strikes again. Okay. Back shot here. So again, she has as deep of a drop here as we were talking about, but it's not super shredded. She's not super tied down in tight, right? She's got that fullness, that roundness that we talked about. So that's the difference that we're talking about right here. Yes, she's got the hamstring coming down, but it's not to a extreme point that we saw when the conditioning is too much. That's good. I think she could still pop the glutes more. She's got some strong legs here. So I think that if she was able to pop the glutes even more, that would make her even better, right? I'd like to see the projection come out at me a little bit more. I think her upper outer glute is fine. I just like to see it come out more 3D this way. But again, this is just splitting hairs, and this obviously is good enough for her to win this show. I'm just talking about when she gets into positions like for the Olympia and things like that. I'd like to see a little bit more projection on the glutes. Waistline is tight and small. Back is nice and wide. She's got a little bit of an impingement right here, it looks like, so she can probably work on that, just getting that out. But it's not huge. It's not a big deal. You still see the shoulder caps and everything like that. So that's probably just from posing. I know I have the same thing. I mean, that's what I just got worked on when I went to Massage Hope yesterday. They went and dug into that lat on me, and it's like that because of posing. So this is likely she just needs some body work in there. But yeah, overall, really well balanced. Her poses from front to back are very, very well balanced from top to bottom. So me saying she needs more protection in her glutes is just being very, very nitpicky. And I think that would just help her when she gets into the bigger shows like the Olympia, things like that. So the reason why I think that the red, like you're saying the red blends, I don't think blend is kind of a tough word. I think it would pop on her skin more if it wasn't the matte red. I think if it was a shiny red, it would really pop off her skin tone better. I like the red. I like the red color on her. I just think because it's matte, it doesn't do her as much justice as if it would be if it was shiny, right? I think it would just pop a lot more if it was shiny. So that's my 2 cents. In the past, she's had her hair too long. This is not too long. This is right where it needs to be. She's fixed all of her little presentation details. And that's one of the reasons why some of these girls, after they win a show, that's why they go and do another one and they do more, because they want to fix these things. I'm sure for her, after the Clash, she wasn't happy with it because she wasn't full enough. And she mentioned that she'd forgotten one of her meals, that kind of thing. So I'm sure she wanted to do another show and really nail her peak and make sure that she hit it right on, that kind of thing. So that's probably one of the reasons why she did this show. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why she did this show. But that's a scenario where now she's kind of fixing all of these little things, like I said, the presentation details, the hair that she had there before doesn't have that anymore. The fullness, she got the fullness that she lacked while she was at Clash, that kind of thing. So overall, I think doing this show is probably a good thing for her. I don't know what her plans are after this, if she plans on continuing or if she's done for the season. But putting 2 wins up, not a bad thing. So that wraps up this show. We have more shows coming up this coming weekend, so we will preview those tomorrow. Any questions on this particular show? Anything that you saw that maybe I didn't cover? Any questions that you had on placings, things like that. I know we touched a little bit about Brittany. I just think she needs to work on kind of refining her frame a little bit. Yeah, I so we're getting this every week where people ask me to assess other people, and I'm going to keep it right strictly to the top 5, because otherwise I will have to critique everybody on stage. I'm getting comments every week about people wanting me to critique them or critique somebody else, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to leave it to the top 5. I'm going to leave it to the top 5. So if you're not in the top 5, I'm not going to critique you. With that said, we're doing something new with our webinars. So if you're ever on my webinar on Thursdays, we're going to give you options with critiques and things like that. So stay tuned for that kind of thing as well. Because I'm getting a lot of girls asking me to critique them. And here's the thing, guys. I try not to stick my nose where it doesn't belong. If you're not one of my clients, I'm not going to just hand out critiques. I'm just not going to do that. And, I try to stick to just pros, and I try to stick to just the top 5, that kind of thing, or specific people that we're looking at, whatever. I try to stick to those things, because otherwise you have to draw a line somewhere, right? You have to draw a line somewhere. And if I don't draw a line, then I start going past and doing things that talking, like I said, sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. And I end up critiquing the entire show. You know what I mean? So I got to cut it off somewhere. I got to stop it somehow, so that's going to be my line, sorry guys. I know everybody wants me to critique them, but that I would be on these lives for hours if I did that. Hey, if you want to become one of my clients, if you want to work with me, if you want to pose with me, you do suits with me, do hair and makeup with me, anything, if you do any of those things with me, I will absolutely give you every critique that you could possibly want. Boom, done. But your girl's got to make some money too. I can't do all this shit for free. Right? That I was going to say, they better sign up as cuties. Yes, exactly. If you want my insider critiques and tips and things like that, that's what my website is for. Right there. That's what that QR code right there is for. I will work with you if you work with me, right? So, yep. At some point, y'all got to hire me. Got to cut it off somewhere. So, any other questions you guys had? Any other questions? The good thing about it too is that, I do go to these shows, and I do go, like I said, plan is for next 2 are going to be Pittsburgh and New York with the live commentary and things like that. So if I'm there and I'm actually commentating on the show itself, then yeah, you're going to get some more stuff. So, support me, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my Spotify, all those kinds of things. And then we can bring you more. We can bring you more content. We can bring you more critiques. We can bring you all of those things. So, so like I said, with the assessments and things like that, we're working on some stuff with that. It's going to be coming, some new options, that kind of thing. But I'm just not going to sit here and give out free advice all the time. Your girl's got to eat too, got to put food on that table. So I'm just saying. So with the glute ham tie-ins, they were just as prominent as normal. It's just the lighting. It's just the lighting. So, but yeah. So, yeah, charging for the critiques, that's something we're looking into. We've got some options coming up. We've got some options coming up. So stay tuned. I mean, I'm not saying no. I'm just not saying I'm not going to give out free advice to everybody. So we got some stuff coming. We got some ideas coming, some things rolling. So we're always working on it. Right? All right, you guys. So with that, tomorrow night we will go through and preview the shows for this coming weekend, because there's a couple shows we'll go through. We got some things to talk about. If y'all saw the pro lists, we got some things to talk about. So we got some more stuff. Other than that, like I said, we have just added New York Pro onto our list for shows. So if you need hair and makeup, even if you're doing photo shoots and stuff, I do makeup for girls that are doing photo shoots at shows too. So reach out to us for that as well. Website right here. If you want to work with me, we have our webinar coming up on Thursday. So you can sign up for that webinar. It's a free suit makeover webinar that you can sign up for right here. If you want to work with me on posing, any of those kinds of things, right there on that website. Okay. Attorney's Zone advice for free. Bingo. Doo-doo. I give y'all a lot of free information. I got to make some money too. I got to make some money. I've got the expertise. You just got to come use me. That's all. Obviously. Yeah. Right. Jennifer. Obviously. Yes. Okay. So with that, you guys, like I said, suitsandposing.com. If you want to come work with me, if you're coming to the Virginia Classic, I'll see you this weekend. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night, 8:15, same time, same place, and we will review or preview the shows for this coming weekend. Okay. Have a great night the rest of the night, you guys. I'm going to log off of Instagram first and then off of YouTube.